Hello everyone, my name is Grace and I am a drama therapist at CW+, and this is another video that I'm bringing to you today. This video is on how to build your own story. I've done a couple of videos in the past for CW+ where I have told you a story, but today you're going to build your own story and create your own story. Now I'm looking down here because I have a few things down here which are going to help me with this video. And you're going to have to bear with me for parts of this video because I'm going to be kind of picking them up and showing them to the camera. And they're a bit fiddly because there's a few things I need to hold in one hand, but I think it will work and I think this will be a really fun video. I have my windows open because it's really hot today, so if you can hear any background noise then I apologise, but I hope everyone is well. And again, as every video of mine is the same, just go at your own pace and do what you can. If there's any part of the video that you want to leave or you want to skip out on, that's absolutely fine. Just pay attention to your body, how you're feeling, and any injuries that you have. On that note, we are going to do our check-in. So if you've watched one of my videos before, you'll know that we start with a check-in. The check-in we're going to do is slightly different today. I'm going to actually get some things down here for the check-in. Okay, so for the check-in today, we are going to use visuals. I'm going to hold up some of the visuals that I have in my hand to the camera and just study each one by one. Look at each one, decide what emotion you think each one represents, and then once I've shown them all, you can choose one you think you feel today. So I will start with this one. Next one. So start to think if you feel any of these today. Those are all the visuals I have today. Now I'm going to attempt to hold them all up. Even though I've been through them one by one, it might help for you to see them all together again. So, decide which one you feel like today and what that visual means to you. I'm going to choose one now. I hope you've chosen yours. My one is this one. I feel very tired today because I didn't sleep well last night. So because I feel this way today, I'm going to check in with a sound and a movement that represents tired. So I'm going to do this. So now it's your turn to think of which visual you chose that I held up. And now it's your turn to do your sound and movement of what that visual is on your body. So I'll leave a space now for you to do that. Thank you. So I'm going to put these visuals to the side and we are just going to breathe together. So, breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. And one more time, breathing in and out. Okay, so now that we've done a bit of breathing, I'd like to ask you to do another check-in. So this check-in works by me asking you a question and you thinking quickly of an answer. So don't think too much about this. Normally it's the first thing that comes to your head is how you're feeling today and who you are today. So the question is, if you were a character in a story today, what character would you be? So just have a think. If you were a character in a story today, with how you're feeling, with how your day's been, what character in what story would you be? I think I would be Alice in Wonderland, because she grows really tall and she grows really small, and I've been doing a bit of movement like that today while I've been filming videos. And in fact, we'll do a bit of moving in a minute, but that's why I'm feeling a little bit like Alice in Wonderland today. I also feel like her because I've also been bent over my laptop typing, and because of that my shoulders are aching, so I feel like I'm squished really tall in a small room like Alice was in the book. So if you'd like to think of who you'd be in a story today, and if you have people with you, you can share who you'd be. If not, just keep it to yourself and think of that character for this video. So we are going to do a little warm-up of our bodies. I am going to stand up, but you can stay sitting, stay lying down, you can stand up with me, whatever you would like to do today. There's no music today because it's just a quick warm up of our body. So we're going to shake our arms and the top half of our body, and the shake's going to go down to our legs and our feet, and back up to our head, high up to our arms, and we're just going to roll our shoulders back, roll our shoulders forward, and try and reach out as far as we can, wide, and go as tall as we can on our tiptoes, tall and thin, and small into a ball down by the floor. And opening back up, just circle your arms forward. And backwards. Breathing as you do this, keep breathing. Don't forget to breathe. And rolling your neck around to the side, to the front and to the other side. And just go for a little wander, following your feet around the space that you're in. You might want to tread really lightly or do big stomps, stomps, stomps. however you feel today, however your character from your book is maybe. If I was Alice, I might tread really lightly. And now there's a chance to just stretch or move any part of your body you think needs a little bit of care today. So any part of your body you feel needs some attention, there's a chance to do that now. As you can tell, mine is definitely my top part of my body, my arms and my shoulders especially. Yours might be different, or yours might be similar to mine. So when you're ready, just coming down to stillness, whether that's standing, sitting, lying down, whatever you feel most comfortable with. And of course, in that movement warm up, I hope that you were taking care of yourself and not pushing yourself and doing what you could do. Okay, so we're going to start to build our own stories now. I'm looking down at my cards here. I have different piles of cards. I have 6 piles of different cards today, and they are storytelling cards. So just like I did with the check-in, with the visuals and the emotions, I'm going to hold up some cards of characters. Now these cards are fairy tale cards. So all the characters and all the pictures on these cards are from that kind of realm. But there are many different cards online, on Google Images. You can search for different types of pictures if you prefer to do a story that's not a fairy tale. But I think using our imagination, we can make a story which is very different to a fairy tale as well. So just like I did with the emotion cards, I'm going to hold up character cards, and you're going to choose a character for your story out of these character cards. I'm going to hold up 2 at a time. Sorry, that one was upside down. 2 at a time, just so we can go through them a bit more quickly, but make sure you have a look at both of them before I move on to the next 2. And then after I've shown them all, you can decide which character you would like in your story. So these are the first 2 cards. And I'm just going to do 2 more. I have them spread out in front of me here. So I'll just go over them one more time. Down and up. And if you could pick a card now. Thank you. So once you've picked your card, try and remember what your character looks like in your head. Think of what their name might be, who they might be, what they might be doing, and maybe how old they are, if they have any family. Think of everything you can about your character and what they might do in the story. I am going to pick this character. My character is the fairy godmother. She is very kind, but she is also very late. So she always runs late to any appointment she has with any princess or prince that she visits. And her name is Gloria. If you need more time to think about your character, you can pause the video now. If not, we will move on to where your character lives. I'm just going to pick out some cards. For where your character might live. And just like I did with the character cards, I'm going to show you them in twos. So thinking about where it is that your character might live. And as I did before, I will show you those cards one more time, and you can now choose which one your character lives in. And remember that card. I think my character lives here in this cottage. So now I have my fairy godmother and my cottage where she lives. But yours might be different to mine. And again, you can now pause the video if you would like to think about what your character might get up to in the place where they live and why they might live there. So I think my fairy godmother lives here because it's cozy. She's lived in the house for years and she likes to be away from all the princes and princesses in the castle. Okay. Next, we will decide what the weather was like during the story. So there's only 3 cards for this one. Was it nighttime or was it daytime? And if it was daytime, was it sunny or was it cloudy? So you can choose now what type of weather it is in your story and whether it is daytime or nighttime. I am going to pick nighttime because in my story, the fairy godmother is going to be sleeping in her cottage. You can pick another weather or time of day to me. Your character is going to meet an animal friend in the story. and it's time to choose who they meet. So choosing who your character meets in your story. And you can also decide if your character likes them or doesn't like them in this story. You can decide that and many more things. For example, if they've met before, how they know each other, where they met, if you pause the video now. And you can think of many, many possibilities. So, my fairy godmother is going to meet the frog, because the frog wants to come to her to be turned into a prince. But the fairy godmother isn't convinced that he is a good frog. She wonders if he might be a bad frog and doing something mischievous. So again, you can pause the video if you want to think of more examples or more stories for your character in meeting their animal friend. And next, these are the last sets of cards. Your character and their animal friend are going to find some objects on their journey. So it's your chance to choose now which of these objects your character and their animal friend find in the story. Or they might not be their animal friend, they might be an enemy, they might be someone they've only just met and they're trying to work out if they can trust them or not. But which objects do they find? Take your pick now. I'm going to choose the key. My fairy godmother and the frog are going to find a key together just outside her cottage. And the story I'm going to write down and think about is what they do with this key and finding the treasure chest that this key opens. How will they do it? I'm going to have to write it down and have a think about it. So I invite you now to do the same. Have a think about the object that your characters find and perhaps what they do with it and how the rest of the story pans out for them. So you can pause the video now and think of your story using the cards that you picked. But you must think of an ending for your story before you come back to the video. So you're welcome to pause it now and then play it again when you've gone through the entire story until the end. Thank you. So hopefully you've paused the video and you've told an amazing story. I hope you've written it down or drawn some pictures. But now it's time for us to leave the magical land which our stories were in. So it's time for me to leave the fairy godmother's cottage, and it is time for you to leave where your story took place. So we're going to either stand up, or if you can't stand up, just move your body as much as you can with me. And just give yourself a shake and move out of the magical land, letting all the colours, the smells, the sounds leave your body and your mind. If you want to take any parts of the story with you, just pluck them out of the air now and put them into your brain so you remember them. But for now, we're going to leave and come back to our own spaces where our own stories take place. So coming back to stillness. And looking around where you are now, we're going to tell each other 3 things that we can see. So I can see a bunch of flowers, I can see a cup of water, and I can see some tissues. What are the 3 things that you can see? Say them now. Thank you. We are now going to say 2 things that we can hear. So I can hear some construction going on outside, which I hope you couldn't hear too loudly during this video. I apologise if you could. It's so hot in my flat that I needed the window open today. And I can also hear a car driving past. So now it's your turn to say 2 things that you can hear. Thank you. And now we are going to say 1 thing that we can smell. I can smell the cleaner, the spray cleaner that I used on my sofa the other weekend. I sprayed my whole sofa to make it smell fresh. What's 1 thing that you can smell? Thank you. Let's take another deep breath in and out together. And we'll just do 1 more. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that one day I can hear your stories or read your stories or look at your pictures of your stories, which you made today in this video, hopefully when we are all back together and we can leave our houses or wherever we are today. I hope you enjoyed this video and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Thank you.